Think of the most intelligent person you know personally. Maybe it is you. Now think about whether that person has ever seemed unexpectedly overwhelmed by something ordinary. A simple admin task that spiraled. A social situation that left them exhausted for days. An inability to manage basic life logistics that nobody around them could understand. We are taught a very specific story about intelligence. That it translates. That if you can solve complex problems, you can navigate complex life. That intelligence equals competence. That intelligence equals functioning. That intelligence equals psychological stability. What if that story is completely wrong? And what if it is quietly destroying some of the most brilliant people alive? Here is the assumption almost every society on Earth has embedded into its institutions. Intelligence equals the ability to navigate life effectively. Schools are built on it. Hiring systems are built on it. Social status is built on it. The way we judge ourselves and other people is built on it. And neuroscience says it is fundamentally, catastrophically wrong. Intelligence, the kind measured by IQ, academic performance, professional success, is a measure of specific cognitive abilities. How fast your brain processes patterns, how well it abstracts concepts, how efficiently it stores and retrieves information. Functioning in daily life requires a completely different set of systems. Emotional regulation, the ability to manage internal states without being overwhelmed. Executive function, the ability to initiate, plan, and complete tasks. Sensory processing, the ability to manage environmental input without cognitive overload. Social energy, the capacity to sustain interaction without system-level exhaustion. These two sets of systems are completely independent. A person can have one in extraordinary abundance, and the other in severe deficit. And for a specific population of highly intelligent people, that is exactly what is happening, every single day, in silence. This is not anecdote. This is documented neuroscience. A 2020 study of Mensa members, people in the top 2% of intelligence globally, found they had significantly higher rates of anxiety disorders, depression, ADHD, and autoimmune conditions than the general population. Read that carefully. The people with the highest measured intelligence on the planet were disproportionately likely to be struggling psychologically. Psychologist Kazimierz Dabrowski documented what he called overexcitabilities in gifted individuals, intensified sensory, emotional, intellectual, and psychomotor responses that make ordinary environments feel overwhelming. In other words, the same cognitive hardware that enables brilliance also makes the world feel louder, more intense, more emotionally demanding, and more exhausting than it does for the average person. Research consistently shows that high intelligence correlates with deeper emotional processing, greater sensitivity to perceived social threat, and a significantly higher baseline of psychological rumination. Brilliance and suffering share the same wiring. The very intensity that makes a mind exceptional is often the same intensity that makes ordinary life unbearable. Here is where this becomes genuinely disturbing. Many highly intelligent people who experience this disconnect do not fall apart visibly. They do something far more psychologically costly. They learn to perform normality. Psychologists call it masking. They study facial expressions the way other people study foreign languages. They analyze conversation timing, social scripts, and expected emotional reactions, the way a method actor studies a role. Externally, they appear composed, competent, and socially fluent. Internally, they are running a constant, exhausting calculation that most people around them have no idea exists. Imagine spending your entire life manually performing behaviors that other people do automatically. That is masking, and it never stops. And here is the mechanism that makes it so invisible and so dangerous. The more intelligent the person, the better they become at masking, which means the world sees extraordinary competence, while the person inside is running on fumes. Clinical research shows that many neurodivergent individuals are not diagnosed until adulthood, often after decades of successful masking that consumed their psychological reserves entirely. They were not discovered struggling. They were discovered after collapsing, having hidden the struggle so effectively that nobody knew to look. And society rewarded the performance right up until the moment it broke. There is a trap built directly into this dynamic. Because intelligent people mask so effectively, they receive a specific and deeply damaging social signal. You are clearly fine. You are clearly capable. Therefore, whatever you are feeling, you have no right to feel it. The smarter the person appears externally, the less permission they receive to struggle internally. They are told, directly or through social implication, you have too much ability to be struggling this much. You are performing too well to need support. You look too functional to be in this much pain. And because the person has spent years trusting their intelligence above all else, they often believe it. They begin to believe the performance is the truth, and the exhaustion underneath is the lie. Research consistently shows that gifted and high-functioning individuals are significantly less likely to seek psychological support, not because they need it less, but because they have been taught their visible competence disqualifies the need. The system does not fail them by being cruel. It fails them by being impressed. Here is the question nobody is asking at an institutional level. Not, why are some brilliant people struggling to function? But, who designed the environments they are being asked to function inside? And whose brain were they designed for? Modern educational systems reward sustained sitting, standardized response, social conformity, uniform attention schedules. Modern workplaces reward emotional suppression, constant availability, social performance, rigid time structures. And then we call it a personal failure when a mind that does not operate on those parameters struggles to fit inside those systems. The brain of a highly intelligent, hypersensitive, or neurodivergent individual is not a broken version of a standard brain. It is a different cognitive architecture, being evaluated by metrics it was never designed to optimize for. Imagine measuring the intelligence of a fish by its ability to climb a tree, then publishing research about why fish are struggling. That is what modern systems do to a significant portion of brilliant minds every single day. And the people those systems fail most catastrophically are often the ones most desperately trying to convince themselves the tree climbing is the problem, not the assessment. Think of the smartest person you know, the person who always has it figured out, who handles everything without breaking a sweat. It feels like they never struggle, right? But honestly, how would you actually know? If someone has spent their entire life practicing how to look normal and successful, they've gotten really good at hiding the cracks. You'll never see how much energy it takes just to keep up appearances. Maybe the people who look like they have their lives together are actually just the most exhausted. Being smart doesn't make life easy. Sometimes, it just means you have a different kind of heavy lifting to do. We shouldn't be asking, why do smart people struggle with normal life? We should be asking, who decided what a normal life is supposed to look like anyway? Maybe the people we think are failing or broken are just the ones who got tired of playing the game. Drop your answer in the comments below. Do you know someone this describes, or does it describe you? Because honestly, I think way more people recognize this than ever dare to admit out loud. If this changed how you see intelligence, even slightly, do me a favor, share it with just one person who needs to hear it. That conversation is worth way more than this video. But look around. The internet is flooded with the same old surface-level noise. If you want to keep cutting through that noise and uncovering the counterintuitive ideas everyone else is missing, hit that subscribe button right now. Don't miss out on what's coming next. In fact, you don't even have to wait. The next mind-bending idea is already waiting for you right here on the screen. Click it, and I'll see you there.